Good morning.
Oh,
Here we are. But it's not Wednesday. It's Friday. Welcome to Bella Box Friday.
Bella Box Friday. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It doesn't. No. So we're going to do a towel today. So the last one we did was the cute little charm and fir tree. And today we're going to do the Good Tidings towel. So very darling towel by itself. They've added the little ruffle pre-done on there for you, which is really great. And then we're going to add some really cute stitching.
Yeah, we haven't seen the ruffled towels show up as a coming to Kimberbell.
No, not yet.
So if you're looking at getting extras, you probably have to buy them from the Me Time store as of yet,
So
or
far,
create your own.
Yes, which is really not complicated,
right?
But certainly a possibility in any colors instead of just the ones that you're given here. So that's also a nice bonus because you can personalize to being how you would like. So there are a lot of little pieces in your kit for today. We've got a piece of leather, we've got a bunch of little felts, and then we have some glitter pieces as well. If you are new to working with the glitter, you make sure that you are removing your plastic piece before putting it in the hoop. So I'm going to be doing that in the background. I just wanted to make note of that.
And then you can save those so that you can press.
You can save that plastic piece because it will cover the area that you'll need to press to keep that the glitter fabric in place later on. But just wanted to mention that so that if I forget to say it later, that I've said it at least somewhere in here.
And Kimberbell recommends sticky wash away.
Sticky wash away is what is in there. I didn't have any, honestly.
So we used sticky tear away.
Which, quite frankly, for towels in general, I'm fine with.
Right.
What about you?
Yeah, because the back of the towel is going to look
It's going to look a hot mess with all of these starts and stops and knots anyways. The little bit of tear away that's going to show, not going to be an issue. And it's going to disappear with washing.
Exactly.
So I personally find the tear away to be a little less sticky, gummy.
Gummy,
Not sticky. I mean, the sticky holds great, but gummy for the needle. So I get less thread issue when I'm working with sticky tear away than when I'm working with sticky wash away.
Yes.
So if I don't need the wash away, I generally don't use it.
Right.
For that reason alone.
Yes.
If you've never used that before, you're going to use the paper side up, which that's this guy. You're going to score your hoop and then tear away to reveal the sticker.
Sticky. Yep. If you hoop it upside down, the sticky will be on the
sticky
bottom.
He won't get sticky when you score that. It won't work.
It will not work. Yeah. So. And a lot of people peel the sticky off and then they stick it to the bottom of the hoop. And that's okay to do too. You just have to know that you will end up with some sticky residue on the bottom of your hoop. And you want to try to just remove it as quickly as possible. The real key to most sticky stuff is that the longer that it sits, the stickier that the more it attaches. So getting it off as quickly as possible.
Sooner rather than later would be better.
Yes.
So the best thing to do is going to be what we did here.
Yes.
If that isn't in your hoop options or whatever reason, make sure that you are removing that off as soon as possible. And
and if you really do like using sticky stabilizer and you like to just put the sticky stabilizer at the bottom of the hoop, Dime makes they make a sticky hoop. It doesn't really have like a top.
There is no top
insert in it, and it has like a special coating on the bottom that you can stick to without worrying about too much issue. And it's literally just designed for that.
Literally what it's for.
Yeah. I would totally, if the sticky thing is your thing, I would. And Dime makes hoops for most brands. I would definitely look into investing for that. They're not super expensive as hoops go. I would do that before I would put the sticky on the bottom of my regular hoop.
Agreed.
Just because it's kind of a pain.
Agreed.
Unless you have just a hoop that you use sticky.
Yeah.
Yes. This hoop is way bigger than what you have to have
so
for the
it called
project.
for a 5x7 in the instructions. It is a lot easier for you guys to see what's happening in the hoop if our hoop is a little oversized. When we get a 5x7, then the edges of the hoop tend to be blocking the stitching a lot of the time. So we thought we would go a little bit bigger just so that you guys could maybe see what's going on a little bit better.
Yeah. So you'll have 2 files for this. You'll have the centering placement line. We've combined ours because we can. You can do them as 2 separate files, load them separately if you would like. But the very first thing that we need to stitch out is the centering crosshair so we know where we're placing our towel. Any idea what our first color is?
That brown color.
Gold-ish? Is that for the...
It looks like it is the felt tack down stuff,
Okay.
which is the lighter of the browns. I honestly think.
And we are gonna just scroll some of the colors that we've chosen for these down towards the bottom. This one does have more colors than the original 10, but we did put that information down at the bottom, kind of the colors that we've chosen in place of the Kimberbell kit. There is a coupon code that will give you a little bit of a discount on those threads. Those are for Exquisite and Floriani branded threads that you can grab on our website.
So it says to use a medium brown. I'm going to use the color I pulled for cream.
Okay.
Because it blends in with.
Right, and this is color ES814.
Which is not included in a thread kit. Cream and gray and black and white, they didn't put in there, just FYI. Whether you're using our thread colors or their thread colors or whatever, it's not included in any of those because cream and black and white and
kind of
whatnot.
standard colors.
Yep. We assume that you already have that.
All right.
First things first is the crosshair. So we've loaded both designs, crosshair first, and then the decorative design.
And we picked the towel with the red.
We did.
You've got 2 towels in your kit.
So my thought on that was that the non-red one will go in my kitchen better the rest of the year, so I could put something else
on that.
And it would blend where nobody thinks anything of red when it doesn't match, quote unquote, at Christmas time. So
do you want to?
That was kind of the thought.
Under the camera?
I certainly can.
Okay.
I have a little bit of a mess going on over here at the moment, but we can make that work. So I've got water soluble topper over here that we're going to need, and then here is my slew of threads that are recommended for this. I've got an extra green in there until I see what it's going to look like. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with. So here's my crosshair. First thing that you're going to do is take your towel and fold it pretty side to pretty side in a hot dog fold. And then you're going to measure 6 inches from the ruffle up, and that is going to be your fold going up. So this fold from here to here should be 6 inches. And then this guy here is going to go in that upper right hand corner of our crosshair. Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's super quiet out there, so I'm thinking if anybody has a question, they're going to pop in there and say, wait.
All right, opened up the first fold, and I am pushing that into position, and then the second.
Good morning.
And just going to smooth that out. I want to make sure I don't have any bumps.
I did starch the towel a little bit. This one wasn't too bad. You know, blanks sometimes are really wonky and sometimes a little bit distorted, but this was pretty good.
And you should see a pretty straight edge across the bottom of your hoop, you know, so if you're really crooked, try again. But as long as you're fairly straight and you're comfortable with where that's at. They do recommend a pin. I don't like putting pins in things if I don't have to, so I just measure and fold. The instructions do show you to use a pin.
Yes, it is 6 inches up from the part of the ruffle where it kind of connects, not the bottom edge of the ruffle.
Yeah, so you're measuring from the actual towel, not the bottom of the ruffle, because that's where your design is going to be stitched on, is the towel, not the ruffle. So they're allowing, so you're going to measure from there up 6. That's going to be the fold.
Yes.
All right, and then our first piece is placement for our sugar cookie felt, which is that lighter tan color of felt. You good? I hid that box over there. Just FYI.
Good morning. The sun was shining this morning. That was nice. Hopefully everybody's having a better start to their day than I am. All right, so we've got a couple of placements. So we've got a little mini tree, a tiny little mitten, and a star.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're putting felt over these. Is that correct?
We are. I was just looking. Okay. Didn't know why I had 3 different sizes or 2 different sizes. It just happened to pan out that way.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something.
No.
That I was using the right pieces.
Sometimes the pieces were weird sizes, and I figured, why cut off a half an inch? And
oh gosh, no, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't messing something up before we even got started.
I didn't tell you that, so sorry.
Nope, all good. I just was quietly doing my research over here. All right, I'm going to cover up those lines. And these are supposed to be like a 2x2-ish size. This is the lighter of the colors of felt, and then we're going to tack those down.
Yep, we have a couple questions. So Mary is asking, no wash away yet?
Not yet.
And Debbie is asking, if you had a nap on the towel, what topper would you use? If you had a nap on the towel, I would probably wait until the moment when Kimberbell tells you to put the topper on, because if you're putting the felt pieces and the little embellishment part pieces over top of it, they're going to kind of smush down the nap of the towel anyways. And then when it goes to do the decorative around some of the other pieces, you'll definitely need that topper. I don't think you're going to want to have multiple layers of topper on top of it.
I would not.
The topper that we'll be using is just our standard wash away topper. It's thin, almost like saran wrap, but it's not sticky.
So this particular towel design has leather in it, which precludes being able to use a heat away topper regardless. So anytime that you have a leather in there, you're not going to want to have a heat away topper, because you can't put direct heat on that leather. So you won't be able to remove anything that you couldn't pull off. You wouldn't be able to heat away, because you couldn't put it directly on that leather. So even if we were not doing this particular piece, I wouldn't use the heat just because of the leather.
Yes.
And honestly, if it's just the top like this, and I'm literally just doing it to keep it above the nap, and it's not like super heavy terries, I usually use the water. If it's super thick, heavy terry type stuff, I would use heat away if possible.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there. All right. I'm going to trim. I'm getting just a little edge around
Mary's question is, do I cut up the felt? There is a cutting, there are cutting instructions at that you can download from the Kimberbell box.
Yeah.
That will
not in your book, which is
right. That will
a little
let you know how to cut up all of your fabric pieces for your project. So you do have to cut the embellishment kit pieces down. I don't know why they don't put that instruction, like that would just be like...
It was just like 1 page or 2 pages.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it wasn't included in the actual instruction book either, but they did include it, which is the main thing.
Yes. But you'll
so
find it
you'll
in
need
your
to print it.
electronic
It was
file.
in the downloads.
Yeah.
2.
And it looks like the next thing is a little green inside that tree.
Placement of the green glitter, maybe. I did put your book over there to your right if you want it. All right. Yes, we are now going to do the green glitter. So I think that's probably... Should I go light? Dark.
Let's go dark.
Let's go dark. I feel like this one was not in our thread kit, so this is one we added.
Should we go light then?
Nope, it doesn't matter.
All right, so we are going to use ES990. I think this was in original original.
This is our
SnL.
SnL Stitching and Style kit. I don't believe it was in the ones we just added with that coupon code. The other color that I was debating was the 275 from that one, which would also look really nice. This one will pop a little bit versus blend. Either will definitely work. It's just a matter of, do you want the color to show a little bit, or did you want it to sink into the leather, or to the glitter in this case? My stomach is rumbling. I apologize. I would be surprised if you guys could hear that from home. These are way too big.
Yeah, they're huge. You'll be able to get a couple.
All right, so there, oops, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I know it's a little hard to see. It's right up against the arm. I'm just gonna cover up that with our green glitter from the kit and tack that down.
Maybe I can get the camera up just a little bit so they can see a little better.
All right, so to remove...
Can't have both, apparently. Can we zoom out at all?
Yep.
Maybe that's the key. There we go.
So here's the glitter we just did. Rather than needing to cut, I'm just going to tear that towards my stitches. And that will just pop right on all of those. So have that nice and trimmed. And you can see I got a little extra. I could probably get 3 or 4 out of that guy. And now we have the mitten over here, which is going to be the blue. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to go lighter this time. And this is one of the ones that we had chosen. I'm choosing 219, PF 219. So this is a Floriani color.
Hard to get in a hole, isn't it?
That is tough, man. Those,
Thread spool,
Tucker. Thread spool. Thread spool. That is the only, not the only, that is one of the reasons I don't like using this, is because it does definitely take longer to get the spool on there. All right. here we are with the placement line.
All right, so now we're gonna just put that right over top of that.
And
then
tack
stitch
that
it
baby
down.
down.
Yeah.
Big old loop flying out the front of that. I was a little worried for a second.
Mary is asking if shortbread felt the same as sugar cookie felt.
Gingerbread, hold that thought.
Yeah, no, they're different. There's a lighter and a darker one.
Shortbread felt is the color that they're talking about for the sugar cookies. Yes, that is what they're calling that. Actually, let's just do this one. We're going to change threads and do the gold, and then I'll tear them both rather than pull that hoop back out.
Okie dokie.
Let's see how I can do this time. That's a good one. Was it good for you? Did you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So, and these are considered your frostings in case anybody's looking at that. Got my gold here. Gonna cover that up and tack that down. Almost got it with the needle bar.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna pull, and then are we gonna keep that color in?
Yes, we are.
All right, we're gonna keep that in for the next, which is like the sparkling stars. This is a really pretty color. It almost looks like we're using metallic, but it's not metallic.
That little bit of extra shine that Floriani has does help with that. Though there are colors in the Exquisite line that also look metallic-y. I think I got it all. What do you think?
It looks good.
I have my iron out, so I'm not going to fuse it, though in the instructions it does recommend you fuse at this point.
Yeah, we could do that next.
We'll do that
next time we get our
when I have the iron. So you should press your glitters in place. I just don't have my iron over at the moment, so.
Joan is asking if these pieces are too small to cut on the Scan and Cut. It's not that they're too small, but there are very few cut files that they gave with this because these are considered like raw edge, so they don't typically do raw edge applique. They only do like the satin stitch style applique pieces because it's really hard to judge and make sure that the placement is perfect when it goes to like tack it down. It's hard to get that in the right space.
And since Sarah convinced me to tear that,
yeah,
if you notice, we didn't cut those pieces. So the glitter itself tore away in seconds. So it's really not worth the time to take the file over and cut that anyway. And then when you're talking about the felt, you know, how much do you want outside of that? And that's where, because of that raw edge,
yeah,
there is no specific answer to that. So there are cut files provided for the Bella box. I would be very surprised. I didn't even look.
There were not many provided. I think
I'm so sorry.
just one or two pieces. Yeah, not all of them. we experimented with doing some of this stuff in our block of the month this year.
We did.
And what we found you kind of have to do is you kind of have to make the placement line larger and then create the tack down line inside of that. Otherwise, you're trying to guess where you want that to be, which essentially means that for an embroidery file, you have to have two different embroidery files. You have to have one that has the placement line in the correct space, and then one that has it in a slightly different space in order to make...
So are you pre-cutting or not pre-cutting?
Pre-cutting, yes. So from Kimberbell's standpoint, that's one more confusing thing for them to do.
And when you're selling mass market, that's really, really hard to do.
Yes.
For us doing it in the block of the month, we had a specific group of people that we were saying, this is what we did. It was very easy to tell those 60 people.
Yes.
You can choose from this file or this file, depending on how you want to do this.
Yeah.
And it worked out, we think, fine.
Yes.
Sure, there's somebody out there confused that didn't watch the video or come to class, but you know, when you're selling 2000s, you can't have something that's that
confusing.
Of an anomaly out there.
Right, because we tried to do the, like, let's balance it between the lines, and it was really hard.
It's hard to know where to put the piece, and then the line that was tacking it down was like right on that line, and that didn't work. No. So, and I was trying to all balance mine. I had mine folded in half, and Sarah just slaps it on there.
They looked about the same.
It did. I was trying to be all scientific about it. It didn't matter. It was, so we did come up with a method that worked, but again, mass market, not so much.
And maybe if we were making like 50 of these to gift to a bunch of people,
then it would be
you
worth
and
your
I
time
would be
to
like,
do,
well, let's do that.
We're totally going to do that. But then you're also adding fusible.
Yes.
So, you know, you're adding
other
to that
things
too. So, and I know we already answered your question. We're just talking because there's nothing else to do.
Right.
So,
filling the space.
Filling it in. All right. So next we've got pink.
If you were doing, we had somebody ask about the nap towel. If you had, I think before I did the stars is probably when I would put down my topper. Would you agree?
Probably would put a topper down for this if I had nap,
Only
but I
if
would
I had
tear
nap.
it.
Yeah.
And then, because there's more applique to come.
Right.
So I would probably do 2 pieces because of the way that they have digitized this.
Right.
I thought we were going to do all of the applique first.
Yeah, or skip around in your design.
Or skip around in the design. So I'm not sure if some of these stars are going to be hard to stitch based on where some of the other applique is, or is it just because we had the gold in already that they thought we would take out a color stop?
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm all for taking out a color stop, or no, I'm sorry, color change. But there's a jump stitch. How dare they? The nerve. All right, so we're now going to do the mug, which we need to change to pink, and I am even going to leave it pink because it's pink leather.
All right, we have ES324.
This is from our Bella Box thread options. Did we scroll that? Yes, we are scrolling that down across the bottom. So if you are watching with us for the first time with the Bella Box, we do have options for the threads.
And if you thought after the last video that you were going to get some of those and you wondered what happened to that coupon code, it was not correct. It will now take like the 59 cents off of each spool instead
not
of
just
59
once
cents
off your order.
All of them.
My bad.
The hurrier we go, the
there was
further
a little
behind we
box
get.
that checked itself.
Yeah.
That evidently is a new box because that didn't used to be there.
Yeah, the lovely thing about our internet provider for our store is that they update all the time.
It does.
And then this is the handle.
Same color.
We're only 5 minutes into our
half an hour stitch.
half an hour stitch out.
Going as fast as I can. All right, so next is going to be the placement line for the pink leather. I'll leave that pink in there.
And this one, you're going to be thinking, oh my God, why is it so big? It actually spans two spaces.
Two different pieces.
Yeah.
It's still a pretty big piece.
It is. You'll have some extra in the middle.
Fun to try to cut those little things.
Yeah, a lot of fun, huh?
Nope. All right, we're going to cover those babies up and tack them down. Still in my pink. And this will be a nice outline. So
this will be easy to follow.
It'll be nice and easy to follow, but this is the decorative final stitch. So not intending for it to be blending in there.
And the wash away goes on when we do the words?
We've got a gingerbread and this little dessert thing, whatever that is. Yep. We've got
we could probably do the gingerbread now, and then you could trim after if you want to do more trimming at one time.
I think that will work.
Okay, so we're going to do color. We're going to do the gingerbread outline now.
That is, we're using color ES878. You needed a dark brown. I pulled that from the Stitching and Style kit. This called for 14 colors of thread, even though they only had 10 in the
recommended thread kit.
Recommended, yes.
Be good.
All right, so this is the gingerbread felt. So again, just like with the pink, this is a decorative outline. So I'm not trying to blend it in case anybody's going, what the heck is she doing? This is the decorative outline there. So
we will have to trim before we do the final applique piece, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that this next brown will fit until it'd be close, but I think I need to remove that pink
there's
leather. Yeah, it's this right there, but it'll be
real close. Okay,
close.
so
let's trim. All right, I'm gonna remove so much stuff. Let's try these. Oh no, definitely better. All right. Not sure which angle I want to attack this from. Let's try this one. Okay, it just dropped something.
I'm not sure what it was.
Oh, leftover glitter, so we're good. All right, one down. Trying to keep those kind of pointy on the little decorative things there.
It's hard, isn't it? It's small.
It is very little tiny point. Okay. Good enough for who it's for. That would be me. We're going to come back over and still that dark brown. This is going to be the lollipop stick. So we could change to a different color of brown if you wanted. I'm happy with that dark brown, so we're going to just go with that, don't you think?
I think that's perfect.
Okay. You don't think this one would be better, right? I think that one's better.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Choices.
Too many sometimes are a bad thing. All right.
Good job on your trimming, Lisa.
Not bad. I might bust that one a little bit, but that's not bad.
The nice thing is that the white edges don't really stick out because of the white towel.
Because of the white towel.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. All right, so the next thing is still going to be in that dark brown, and that is going to be cake filled. It's going to be down here. So we're going to leave that in and stitch one more time. So many colors.
I know, right?
Are we done with that one? I don't...
We're going to need the, oh, where lollipop is probably red, right? And the peppermint candy.
Lollipop, lollipop. Ooh, la, la, la. Yeah, red and white, but then it has a, I think it's that dark green outline.
Okay.
Which is why we have bobbin that matches those.
Choo choo.
I want chocolate cake.
I know.
I am not doing well on my diet. Not going well. All right, so there's the bottom of the cake. We're now going to do the frosting top, which is going to be in white felt. So we're switching to white thread for a placement line. Watch says it's time to get off your duff.
Things are about to get serious. Lisa's getting cake.
Well, I figure it keeps our hands out of the way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did have somebody come in yesterday saying they got their finger underneath the machine when it was stitching. So, but it just got like the fatty part of the, so it wasn't a huge thing. But you definitely got to be careful.
You got to pay attention for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. All right, so we're going to trim this away, and then we are going to add that washed away topper because there's going to be decorative stitching that's going to go on top. Oh, my bad. Of all
visual effects included.
visual effects, yes. visual effects are sometimes not a good thing. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to trim away the excess of this felt here. Just scissors are fighting me here. You know, we only have like 4 pairs of these over here, but we might need a new pair.
Yes. Yeah. Someone suggested using their little purple thing to hold the fabric because she's afraid of using her fingers. It's totally a good idea. Yes. It's more of a don't do as we do thing. Yeah, you definitely are putting your, I mean, you know, it's just one of those things. I think you do it until you stitch through your finger, maybe. But I've done it once. I stitched through my finger, but it wasn't when I was embroidering or doing regular sewing. I was actually doing free motion quilting, and I was bumped when I was free motion quilting, and so the needle went through like the fatty part of my finger, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
All right.
So, but some people have had big issues, like it goes through the bone and they have to have it taken out, kind of thing.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Definitely not recommending that, guys. Our hands are always so much better.
I know. You know, when I take out that needle again.
Well, evidently, I'm very talented in that manner. All right. So before we slide that all the way back, we're going to cover that up with our topper.
Yep.
And going to tape that at the top and the bottom. It says tape all 4 sides. This is as far as I can go. This is killing me here, so. But this will keep it there and my hands out of the way so you guys can see what's going on, because they can totally see what's going on.
Yes.
So we'll say that again. We're going to put topper on here and we're going to put tape up just to keep it there. You don't have to necessarily tape that, but it'll keep your hands out. And for us anyways, it'll keep our hands out of your way of seeing what's happening underneath the needle. Mm-hmm. So we still have white thread in, and we're going to leave that in. There's a bunch of things that are going to stitch here. So here that goes, and this is just a few minutes.
So Marilyn is asking, can the towel really be used and washed with felt, or is it just for decoration? I mean,
absolutely.
Yes,
it's stitched in place.
It's stitched in place, but
it's also put it in the dryer, but
it's a big towel. So, I mean, I wouldn't rub the felt and glitter pieces like over top of whatever it is that I'm doing. But I mean, you can definitely use it and wash it, and or you can use it for decorative purposes, either or. But like I said, it's still a pretty big towel, so you still got a lot of areas where you don't have anything on it. So I wouldn't hesitate to use it.
I wouldn't either. I would maybe not throw it in the dryer so that felt doesn't try to pull in too much, but it's going to have decorative stitching on the felt too. Mm-hmm. You know, so these all have stuff on them. This is going to have stuff on it, so I think it's pretty secure on there. So I think that you'd probably be pretty safe. With all of the decorative stuff that I do like this, that I have at home, I use the other side of the towel. Yeah. So, you know, I dry my hands on the other side or whatever it is that I'm doing on the other side, so that I'm not trying to remove stains around the decorative stuff. But I've never had an issue. Yeah.
So I don't think you would have any issues. I mean, it's your time, so, you know, you could definitely decide if you wanted it to be just decorative. Some people have just decorative towels that they hang up and don't use. So this is wash away. Because there's leather, we can't heat it away.
Yeah, this is a leather here and here. So because of those, we won't be able to apply an iron directly to it, which leaves heat away as not an option.
Not an option. Yeah.
And honestly, the glitter you can't put your iron directly on, so there's multiple things here that make your heat away not a good choice. So water it is.
Water it is.
You know, we were talking about if this was on a heavier nap, I wouldn't choose this design to go on a heavy nap because you would lose too much of the design into that nap.
It's very tiny, so
you know, I'm sure
I would do like
that
a really
would probably go without saying. However, you know,
Yeah.
you should always pay attention to what you're stitching on things to make sure that it's going to come out well. Everything can't be put everywhere.
So Debbie said, I use the camera on my Dream Machine for placement, then use the OESD Stitch H2O for the topper, and the presser foot shredded it. Why and what should I have done differently? I think the main, so it's, if you were doing it on something that was thicker, and not just this particular towel.
Foot may have been too
low. Yeah.
So you do have the ability, all machines that have a hovering foot have the ability to raise the presser foot. And if it got caught, it's probably that your foot was too low.
Yeah, there was drag on it.
There was drag. It shouldn't have gotten caught. If it tore somewhere, so like around the fill stitches that were just done up there, you know, it's possible it perforated it. And then sometimes you get a tail that pops up or something, and then it gets caught in the foot.
Right.
That's just a fluke. That's nothing that anybody did wrong. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes things like that happen that we have to pay attention to. Anytime I have a topper or something like that on top, I don't walk away because it can unfortunately cause some problems.
Issues, yeah.
So as many things as it fixes, it can also tear and get caught. So I would recommend just keeping an eye on things like that. But the most probable answer is raise your presser foot.
Yeah.
And you would do that by going in the settings of your machine, which is the turn down corner piece of paper looking guy, and just go to presser foot height and probably 2 bumps.
Yeah,
and then just make a note to remember to put
go
it
back down, because it'll affect other stitches.
Yep.
When you go back to try something else.
Yep. Yeah, anytime I make a change to those settings, because those will not be automatically reset when you come back, turn the machine off and on, I just put a sticky note on the corner of my machine. I don't have to write on it. It just tells me I changed something. I can usually remember what I changed if I just remember that I need to go back and change something.
Yep.
I just throw a sticky note up on the corner of my machine, and that tells me, hey, go back and fix something. And then I have that reminder for that purpose. So I just keep sticky notes in my drawer. You can use the same one over and over again.
Yep.
You know, it's not like a I am a right-handed, and yeah, I will, practice is always good for sure.
May I go to the other camera?
Sure. So when you are holding the scissors themselves, I don't have these 2 fingers here. I use my thumb and middle finger, and then I have my first finger here. And that gives me a lot of control, a lot more control than if I was just doing this. They tend to slide a lot more if I don't have a good grip. So this keeps my fingers from shifting in the handles. And then, and back over on the other side, Sarah is just changing to red thread.
At the same time.
Yes, you are supposed to change the bobbin.
Okay, so I'm also going to change the bobbin. So just quickly, red thread, and change your bobbin for the red thread, because it's going to be tiny little letters and they sometimes pull up your bobbin thread. So we'll go back to that camera there.
Cool. So she's right here. We are on page 10 in the book. Step number 38 in the instructions, and it's going to do a lot of red. The reason that the bobbin is being changed is there's small lettering in there. Here, I'll pull that up closer to the Good Tidings right there. That is going to possibly show some bobbin thread, which is why we are pulling a red bobbin in there, so that if it does pull up, all you see is red.
Yep.
So she's going to do that and keep it stitching. So that is the first thing, is how you hold the scissors is definitely going to help. If you're left-handed, I got nothing. You got?
You would probably do exactly the same thing, just with your left
Just
hand.
with the left hand.
Yeah,
all right,
just do
so
the
there
exact
you go. When I am actually cutting, I use my left hand to stabilize whatever it is that I'm cutting. So a lot of times I will turn up, so I get a nice vertical piece, if that's an option, especially when it's a heavier item like leather, like this, because if it's flat, you tend to get that slippage and you get like that angled cut, where if it's vertical, you get a nice clean cut. So that is one other thing, is use both hands, and you utilize that. If you can, I ankle just a little bit, but for the most part, I generally cut pretty flat. I don't turn the scissor sideways. So when you're cutting with regular scissors, those are a vertical cut, right? These are not. These are much more horizontal, like this. So keeping them flat to your hoop, and again, controlling your grip here is going to make a big difference. And at the beginning, take smaller snips. Don't try to take big cuts.
Yeah.
And you'll learn that control, and then you can get a little bit more comfortable. The micro tip scissors, I like the curved micro tip. When I'm getting into something that's super tiny, sometimes I'll use those, but I use that in the same manner too. But hopefully that helped. But the handle and how you hold that, for me, is the controlling. If I try to do this, I'm all over the place, because I can't, how much this is happening. If I have here, nothing moves.
Yeah.
So I have complete control over where my scissor is hitting, and where it's moving. Hopefully that helped. Yeah, that looks nice and bright. Yeah, let me know how it goes, Marilyn. They are definitely my favorite scissors. I use them almost to an exclusion. Pretty much the only ones I use otherwise are those micro tips for when I can't quite get somewhere.
Yeah.
And for applique type trimming anyways, that's about it. And they get just about everywhere. They will get dull. You hear me grumbling over here. These are dying.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to replace them soon. So there's going to be a point where they just won't work, and it costs almost as much to send them off to be sharpened as it does to buy a new pair. So as awful as it sounds, it's easier to just buy a new pair. But hi Hayden, how are you? Okay, we're gonna be in great shape next week.
You're going to be so good.
It's gonna be so great. Did you hear about the box? Maybe that helped.
No, maybe not.
Did you hear about the little red box over here?
There's a hidden box over here. There's something in there you might like. Is he here yet? Okay. That's why we hid it.
Shh. How to take care of my peeps. See, even when I'm not here, I think about you guys. I gave myself an hour yesterday.
I see. Looks good.
like, they don't change color. These are the glow in the dark ones.
Wake
That's
yourself
when I
up
figured that out
last night.
when I got this is that true, but I was like, oh yeah, that's why. They don't change color. They glow in the dark. Jack was super cuddly. He gets very achy when he has to have a shot.
Yeah.
So he was all,
Me, mommy. Yeah.
but don't touch that spot.
Yeah.
Because then it was. Yeah. Seeing that back of embellishment kit. It's in my car somewhere. My mom dumped it.
Maybe.
I mean, that will obviously either yeah I want it or no I don't want it, but it would look better if there weren't rough threads on the side.
Right.
I put the zipper on the bottom.
It's a good place for it.
I was wondering if it was going to jump or what it was going to do. Guess not. This is why it takes longer than 29 minutes. Gingerbread still needs a little bit of love.
Mm-hmm. This candy cane's gonna take forever.
It will definitely, and the cup needs a little bit of berry.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, nope, and the mitten.
Yep. Oh, and the top.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. Okay.
So
red is a really long color. It says
yes.
6 minutes, but it's going to be more like 12
right.
or 15.
So everybody watching is a Kimberbell fan. Digital dealer for 2024. The information is out. I loaded the design information on our website last night, and I stuck it at the very bottom of the email that I sent this morning with the links for today's things. I did it on my phone because I forgot my keys this morning. So I had to wait outside until someone got here. So I'm double checked the link, but I did do it on my phone. So for some reason that link does not work. It is in the what's new section on our website. So I don't have kits available yet, but you can purchase the yearly design set for $99. So you will actually get 13 designs if you purchase the full year, or the individual designs are $10. But there are pictures of each of the designs if you want to see them. We have detailed information on the projects this year, which we didn't have last year. And I'm trying to debate how to make the kits. So I'm curious. So we've got a few people watching here. So if you were going to buy a kit to do a Kimberbell project, and Kimberbell says for me to cut a fat quarter to put in your kit, and you really need a 9-inch by 9-inch piece, would you rather have a fat quarter so that you have extra fabric, or would you rather have a 10 by 10-inch piece? Keeping in mind that you're going to pay more for the kit if there is a fat quarter in it than there would be if we're putting in more, the fabric sizes a little bit more exact to...
We price the kits based on the yardage of fabric that we put in the kit.
Right.
Not whatever it calls for. You know, they don't give us a number of this is how much you have to charge.
Right.
We price it based on what we cut. So if we cut an 18 by 21 piece, that's what's going to be figured into the yardage. If we cut a 10 by 10 piece,
right,
that you can then starch and cut down to your 9 by 9 piece or whatever it is that you need,
right,
that would be a lot less yardage if that's how it ends up being.
Yes.
We find that happens a lot. There's a lot of, you know, a fat eighth, a fat 16th, then it goes to the fat quarter. So if it's over
Right.
that 9 inches, they jump to a fat quarter. And then you have a whole bunch of extra fabric, and that bumps the prices of those kits.
Right.
So what do you guys think? If you are you're the ones buying them.
Right.
So what would you prefer? Give us some feedback and tell us, would you prefer the lower priced kit and getting the fabric, just the fabrics that you need? Or would you rather pay a couple dollars extra and have the extras for that oops moment, or
Right.
I cut it wrong, or whatever? Or would you rather have that extra, but have it be a little bit more money? There's definitely that two sides of the scale.
Yes.
That we can see both sides of. So. Sometimes we don't always have the end cut information. We just get the big cut list, and to get things done ahead of time.
Yep. One vote for keep the cost down.
Which I feel like we all have so much scrap, and then it's hard to use that scrap.
Right.
It's one thing to buy a yard of something that you like, or I want to use this for something, but it's a whole nother to have just a scrap of something left over.
Right.
And then find use for that.
It's also not like, so, that was just one example, but like the next fabric cut piece was like a scrap. So we gave you a 5x5 inch piece. You needed a 4x4 inch piece. So you don't have enough to make like a second project. You just have more of like one random fabric in there.
Yep. It's never enough. You don't ever get enough to make two.
Unless we specifically plan it that way. Yeah.
Which we have done.
Yes.
Like for Digital Dealer, when it's two of some,
sometimes it's a really small project.
If you get two blanks in something, we'll give you enough materials to make two of whatever it is. Okay. So thank you for your feedback, Pam. If anyone else would like to pitch in, we would love to hear. So that was finally all of the red. So lots of red in there.
Lots of red.
We need to change our bobbin back to our neutral color. And we're now going to change to the top thread to the lighter green. So, oops, sorry.
Is this one the one we're going to use?
That's the one we're going to use.
PF 275 is the green I'm using. I don't know that I said what red I had on there.
Okay. The red is 3015.
That was an exquisite. Okay.
Yes, ES 3015. I do need that bobbin.
There you go. I'll take the red. It's really nice to have 4 hands.
Four hands are so fantastic. It's funny because when I'm sewing at home, I often think to myself, wow, this would be so much easier.
Set of hands.
So much easier if Sarah was doing this, that, or the other thing while I was doing this. You're good.
What's that?
You're good.
Okay. All right. And this is just a little bit of stitching.
Yep, little parts of the bow.
And
something at the
bottom. Holly leaf, I think.
Yep.
On the cupcake.
The cupcake down here.
I thought that was a basket at first, but that is the outline of the cupcake.
This is super cute. Well, what am I going to do? Oh.
You just have to do it quieter.
All right. 2 for cost down. All right, so this is the darker green, and we're going to change our bobbin back again because we have... Are
we going to use this one?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Or would we be better off with... No, probably that one. Okay. All right, so now we are going to change our green to, this is a really pretty, it's a deep,
it's got just a hint of like spruce to it.
Yeah. This is ES4735.
This was not in our original kit. If I was using that color, I would have used the 2016. I just thought this was really pretty. So I don't remember why it was sitting there. Is that in our, whatchamacallit?
It might be in one of the other ones. Yeah.
I don't know. It was there and I was like, oh, that's pretty. I want that one. So here we go. Have you ever pushed your hoop in and had your hand back here and gotten a paper cut from
Yes, your stabilizer.
your stabilizer? Yep. I've almost gotten that like multiple times this morning. And that's why I'm like, ah. All right. So this is going to do the Comfort,
the green bow and the
Comfort Joy, the bow, and I think it's holly on the mug.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then a little line down here.
Yeah. Do we have to put red in again? We must, because like the it's not on the cupcake.
I guess we do. Just for that berry detail.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty color. You could do black here too if you wanted. So if you didn't want it to be like a green color,
nice.
But it's really pretty.
We need this one.
And if you're watching this video later and maybe you never bought our kits or you hadn't thought about it, you can also just send us an email if you don't want to comment on here or you don't want your name to appear, and let us know what you are thinking. I won't have our thread, I won't have the digital dealer kit costs until after we're done with Novi. I'm sure I will not get it done this weekend. But in the past, we've done like a bundle price where if you buy the designs, you get a special deal on the bundle. If you buy the complete year, we will do something like that, but go ahead and buy the year of the designs. Anybody who does that, I'll send you like a coupon code that you can use to get like the whole bundle at a discounted price.
If you choose
to do both the kits and
the designs and the kits.
Yeah, Mary said she would prefer a kit with the exact fabric, which is less expensive. I kind of figured people would go that way, and a lot of times the only thing that we have is the Kimberbell cutting chart, which just tells us we don't know how big the pieces are going to end up being. We just know that it's a fat quarter or whatever. But this year I actually have the instruction on what the pieces are getting cut down with, so I could actually do a more efficient kit.
Yep. Depends on how early we cut. Mm-hmm. You know, if we're cutting super early, all we get is these are the fabrics, this is how much.
Yeah.
But we don't have any breakdown of what the actual cut pieces will be.
Yeah.
Just this is how much fabric you're going to need.
But we have all of them this year ahead of time. Yep. We also have the blanks here, which are kind of cool. So there's like a fanny pack. It's cute. There's a bigger cinch sack coming, like a backpack size one. So there are really some fun stuff coming up. So if you haven't participated in Digital Dealer, I think it'll be fun this year.
I love this font.
Cute. It's really cute. What the font?
What the font? I have to say this color is fantastic for that.
It is. It looks really pretty.
It's very sprucey. I wonder what it might even be called that. I don't even have a clue, but
could be. I'm kind of grateful they don't put the name on the top of the tag too, because I feel like the numbers are small enough already. Adding another word to it would just
make it harder and harder to read, right?
Yeah, I definitely can't read them without I guess I can kind of read it without my glasses on. I guess I'm not as lined up close as I thought I was. It's not comfortable though.
So it's calling for, it said gray somewhere, but.
Next is some sort of black or something.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to leave the.
Oh, for the outline.
Yeah.
And the smoke.
That looks like the same dot as that, does it not?
Yeah, it does.
Noisy, noisy girl. Huh. I was just gonna say I'm gonna leave that in.
Yeah, that's fine.
But where's the turquoise supposed to have been? Said we needed it. I don't see one. That's okay.
As soon as we're done stitching with this, I will remind you of this color again. I can't see the end. Can you see the end?
4735.
4735.
ES 4735. I got my glove. Oh wait, I cheated. I have a contact in.
Cheater, cheater, pumpkin
Cheater,
eater.
cheater. Cheater, cheater. Too bad.
Yeah, that's actually stitched out. This font stitched out pretty quick. Tiny little satin stitches.
Yeah, so we're gonna need the light green. Well, we're gonna leave that in.
Yep.
And then light green, and then red, and then pink.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely helps when it doesn't have to stop and cut the thread 20 million times.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It still has to do the little bow and the holly leaf, but it's going pretty quick. Oh, and I think something on the mitten.
Yep. Little lines along with the squigglies that were already there.
Top of us.
Mm-hmm.
The thing.
This is pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing I can't do myself.
Right.
I just never do. Surged and sewn.
Huge stitch.
It is that. Down the middle, maybe? I don't think I could have survived without that little line there.
Mm-mm. Without the cherry, it looks out of place.
A little out there. A line there. One more line, and then a holly leaf
Mm-hmm.
on a mug. Get about it?
Feels like it's out. I don't know how that got all moved around. We probably need to figure out. It just doesn't seem like it's in the right place, does it?
No, but then there's only a...
I know. I feel like we had it in a better place, but we'll have to, when we take this down, we'll figure it out when we come back. Take the time.
Yeah. Angle the machine a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to leave this color in. It's going to do the outlines around the peppermint stuff and the word and.
Mm-hmm.
And the smoke.
Yep.
On the cup. It doesn't appear that has anything in it, but it's got smoke coming out of it.
Yeah, the door's open. This should be a pretty quick stitch too. We just left that same color in. So swirls.
The peppermint edging. Interesting how it did that. It's not what I was expecting. Looks good, but it's not what I was expecting. And the holly leaf.
Smoke swirl. Meow.
All right. Couple more little detailed pieces coming up.
All right, so we're switching back to PF 275. This is that
bobbin.
lighter green.
And our bobbin.
And we're changing our bobbin.
And again, that last color was ES 4735. This was not in the original color listing there.
Okay.
No, evidently not.
There we go. Darn loops. We are on the home stretch here. Just a couple more quick thread changes. So we got that lighter green in.
And a little detail over here. A little bit going on there, huh?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do the cherry on top of the cupcake. So we're gonna move back to color number 3095. We have like the face, right? For the gingerbread next.
Yeah. Said we needed this too, but
Is that probably for the face?
I don't think that will show, do you?
Not really.
I think we need
Do
that
we
one.
want the pink? Okay.
Yep.
All right, and then we are going to change one last time. We're going to go to pink, ES324, and this is going to do the Ginger Man's face. Ginger Man, ginger person, gingerbread face. It's pink. It's going to be cute.
All right.
And like 7 stitches.
I don't think that would have showed up if we did the light pink.
Me either. And we're done.
And that's it. So we're going to remove the tearaway. Topper.
So Marilyn had a question about digital dealer design. So digital dealer are always going to be dealers. So they will never show up in the Kimberbell vault, but you can purchase them from our website and probably many other people's websites.
Even after the
year. So we still have we still have this year and last year's up on our website, and they can be purchased individually. So individual months are $10, or when you purchase them yearly, it's $99 for basically the whole year, and then you get all of the designs. So there you go.
So there's a whole bunch in the middles here that I can mess with, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Anything that I can't pull out, I can just get wet, and that will go away. And then pop that from the hoop. And the stabilizer is listed as wash away. If you are using wash away, you are going to pull up to the design and then trim close to the edge there. All right, so if this is wash away, it is not going to tear. You will need to actually cut up to that edge. We used a tearaway because I didn't have the wash away. So I'm just going to gently, and I do mean gently because I've got some thin stitches there. Want to make sure that I don't have anything being popped on the other side. So whenever I have that, I generally push down by my stitches so that it's protecting those, and pull towards my center of my design. If you have that wash away, then you will just then get that wet to remove the remainder. So there we have the back, and there we have the front.
Yeah, so cute.
A little shiny still because there's water-soluble topper still in there, but all done.
Yes. All right. Well, anything else to add?
So it is recommending, optionally, that we add hot fix to the front of this, so around the edges and whatnot, to add some of the hot fix that was included. So you did receive a hot fix applicating tool.
Yes.
In the box as well. So if you would like to, so they're showing as desired, but they're showing some like
Placement options.
Yeah, options around the outside. So, but you could literally put them anywhere you want.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you're going to use your towel in your kitchen or something like that, and you're concerned that someone might use that area over there, you might want to just not use the glitz, just because that can be scratchy. So
yeah, like I said, I generally just stay away from using the fronts.
Yep.
And on any of this kind of thing, I just use the back, but, you know, whatever floats your boat.
Yep. All right.
There
Well,
you go. That is
that's all we have for today.
what we have.
Yep.
If
All
you guys have any questions or would like to comment about the kit questions that we talked about, please let us know.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. We will not be stitching next week because we'll be at Novi, so please come see us. We are the brother dealer there, and we'll happy
sell you
to.
a baby lock too.
We'll sell you whatever you want to buy. And please come. If you haven't met us and you're there, please come say hi so we can have a face to put with the names that we see along the side. That we always love to meet you guys. So please come say hello.
Yep.
And after Novi, it's Friday.
Yes.
Is going to
So
be
2 weeks from
the
today.
Bella Box will be in 2 weeks, but that Wednesday after we'll be doing our digital dealer.
Yes.
So that's when we'll be here next. See you guys then. Bye.